Welcome, students. Hope you joined the introduction class where we spoke about the circles and the properties of the circles. The description. We looked at the description of the circle. Today we are looking at the properties involving circle theory, right? I told you circle theorem, they are plane figures that are surrounded with a circle, and because of that, they have special properties. Now, for you to be able to solve these questions very well, you need to know the properties very well, because without the properties as a simple tools, you cannot solve any question like that. So on this episode, we are going to focus on the properties, right? Discuss the properties into details, and then on our next episode, we will start solving our questions, okay? All right, so let's start. Now, the first property says that, it says that, if this is a circle and this is my center, say O. Now, if there is a chord, right? This is a chord, right? And the chord subtend an angle at the center, right? This same chord subtend an angle at the center. Then the same chord subtend another angle at the circumference of the circle. Then the angle at the center is twice the angle at the circumference. Okay? So, which means that if this part is actually x and this part is y, then it means that y is equal to 2 what? X. It means when you multiply this by 2, you are going to get what? That. Are you getting that? Which means that if this place is 20, then this becomes what? 40. Are you okay? If this size is 40, then this one becomes what? 80. So once they are coming from the same chord, it's not all the time that you see a line here. Sometimes you don't see any line, you just see something like this. Okay, you don't see any line like that. Once they are coming from the same point, and one subtend an angle at the center, and the same thing subtend an angle at the circumference, then the angle at the center becomes twice the angle of what? The circumference. Are you okay? Now, it can even be this is where students get confused. It can even be just something like this. Okay? Once this one is at the center, and it's the same point, and once this one is touching this circumference, it's not necessarily for it to be above this particular one. Once this one is at the center, and once this one is touching the circumference, then yet still, if this is x, then this becomes 2x. So if this is 20, this becomes 40. Are you getting that? That's the first one. Then the second property. Now, the second property also says that if you have a chord, right, and a chord subtend an angle at one part of the circumference, and the same chord subtend another angle at the other part of the circumference, then the angle they subtend are all the same. Once they are all from the same chord, then whatever angle is here is equal to whatever angle is here. You can even have another one. You can have 10 of them. Once they are all coming from the same chord, then all of them has what? The same what? Figure. Once they are all touching the circumference. Are you getting it? Then they are all what? Equal. Okay? Alright, so let's go to the third one. Now, the third one says that the angle that a diameter subtend at any point of the circumference is equal to 90 degrees. Alright, so for instance, this is a diameter. The angle that the diameter subtend at any point of the circumference, once the diameter subtend an angle, then it's automatically 90 degrees. This sign means 90 degrees. Once the same diameter subtend another angle anywhere, like here, it's still what? 90 degrees. Okay, it is still at 90 degrees. Now, let's go to the fourth one. The fourth one says that opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilaterals are supplementary. Remember, we said supplementary angles are angles that sum up to what? 180 degrees. Sum means what? Addition. It adds up to what? 90 degrees. So, opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral. A cyclic quadrilateral is a quadrilateral that's inside a circle. We all know quadrilateral are four-sided figures, right? So, supposing I have a quadrilateral like this, quadrilaterals in any form, it doesn't matter the shape, it can be in any form, right? And this is the center. Then if I have here A and then here B, because this one is already opposite to this, I can say A plus B equals 180 degrees. Because opposite angles are supplementary, which means when you add opposite angle, it's equal to what? 180 degrees. Now this side and this side are also opposite, right? So it means that if this is X and this is Y, then which means that if I add X plus Y, I should also get what? 180 degrees. Are you getting that? Right? Alright. And then another thing I want you to know, which we've already learned in plane geometry, of course, that's description. If I have two similar angles in a triangle, which means they are the same, right? They are similar. So this is how you detect them. Once you have a dash here and a dash there, it means they are similar. Which means whichever angle you have here is equal to whichever angle you have there. Look at where the lines are pointing. The angle the lines are pointing. The angles they are pointing are actually what? The same. Now the same thing happens here. Supposing I have a diameter like that, and the diameter certain an angle here, and the same thing certain another angle here. Once I bring this similar lines, which means that wherever they are pointing, the lines are pointing are the same. So if this is A, this is also what? A. Are you getting that? And then the last property we are going to talk about, the properties of what we call chord. Properties of chord. So supposing I have a center like that. Now, this is actually my chord, and I'm subtending an angle here. You should know that this is equal to this. The reason is that this is radius. This is also radius. Radii are always the same. They do not change in figure, nor value, right? So since this side and this side are equal, it makes this angle equal to what? That angle. Are you getting that? Which means that if I have got this angle, I can add everything to what? 360 degrees, 180 degrees, because it's a triangle. Now, apart from these properties, anything that we learned in plane geometry applies here, right? If it's a triangle, you sum it up to 180. Opposite angles apply. This angle properties of parallel lines, they all apply here, okay? Now, we will see how we are going to execute them when we are given questions like that. The main problem of students concerning circle theorem is that after studying all these properties, they become confused when they interconnect them. There are some questions that you have to apply about 3 properties to be able to solve them. That is where students find challenges actually from. But don't worry, we are here to solve all those challenges. So make sure that you join our next video where we are going to look at problems involving circle theory. So until we meet next time, I'll say goodbye for now.